Alright, welcome to part 2 of this video. In this one we're going to look at how to mask off the portion of the screen that you want to keep. If you remember, the way that a mask works is, this is your mask button here. When you click this button, it creates almost like a template, like a way to kind of hide parts of a layer so that you don't see those pixels. So whatever is white in that layer you see, whatever is black on your mask you don't see. So I could take something as simple as my paintbrush, and if I start painting black onto this mask, those parts go away. As I paint more and more black, more of that goes away. So if I turn this opacity way up, you can see the part that is black on this mask is hidden. The pixels are still here. If I disable this mask, you can see they're all still there. I'm just hiding them with the mask. So again, with the masks, white we can see, black we can't. You see here where I have gray, I'm seeing parts of those pixels, and as I get closer and closer to black, more of that fades away. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and cut out our subject using a mask. So to do this to start, one of the easiest ways to get started is to use your quick selection tool. And what I want to do with this tool is I don't want to touch the edge at all of the thing that I'm trying to select. I want to start kind of in the middle of that thing and just kind of start painting around with this tool. It automatically, when you let go of your mouse, jumps to this option so you can add to your selection. So I'm going to keep adding to what I have selected here. And what this is going to do is this is going to just make it a little bit faster for me as I go to make my selection. So let me just keep adding in here. So now that I've gotten all of that, I'm going to get rid of some of the extra parts that I don't need. So kind of in between the arms here is the main part. I still need to get this hair cleaned up a little bit. Oops. Alright, so now that I want to get rid of parts, I'm going to switch over to this minus option, and I'm going to kind of paint away the parts that I don't want. So now I'm going to go in between the arms here. Got that chunk. And I'm trying to get this as good as I can. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect, because once I make the mask, I can still kind of fix it up. Another thing I can do, if you hold Option, it flip-flops to the other choice. So if I'm on this plus one and I hold Option, it switches to the minus. So I'm just going to add these pieces back in. And if I get too much, I'll just hold Option, and then again it temporarily switches me to the minus one where I can kind of fix that. Alright, well anyway, I think I got this just about where I want it. So now I'm going to go ahead and put a mask on this. Now when you have a selection and you make a mask, it automatically makes the mask black everywhere except for where your selection was. Now you can see I kind of messed up the ear here. There's some other pieces that might need cleaned up. What I can do is, as long as I have the mask selected as opposed to the layer, I can use my paintbrush to apply color to an area. So I'm going to make my brush a little harder here, get a reasonable size. I'm just going to start zooming in and fixing that ear. So I'm going to make this smaller. And I'm just painting back that ear. So this is kind of how you can clean up your own project. One other thing that you can do is, for hair especially, this works great. Again, I still have my mask selected. I can go Select, Refine Mask, and I can decide whether I want to see this against a black background or a white background. So depending on what you're doing, sometimes one is nicer than the other. And then I'm going to use this tool here to make this tool bigger or smaller. I can use next to the letter P the two brackets. And you want to keep this fairly small, because if you make it too big, it's going to make some of this picture start fading away. And what I want to do here is I want to color over top of this hair. And it's going to kind of find the edges of this hair and get rid of the parts that are background. And I may still then need to go back and clean this up with one of my other tools. Here it's working pretty well, you can see, bringing back some of that hair. So I'm going to hit OK. Now it's still a little tough for me to see kind of what's right and what's not here. So I'm going to do one other thing to kind of help me clean up this layer. I'm going to go ahead and add the background to our project. To do that, I'm going to click on the adjustment layer button right here, this black and white circle. I'm going to add a solid color adjustment layer. I'm going to guess, for now, I'm probably going to want black. So I'm going to pick black for my color. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to put this behind my subject. Now I can kind of really see what I have, so I can see where I need to focus on cleaning up. So around this microphone, around here, so I'm going to go back to this mask, and again I can just continue painting white or black, and that will clean this up. So go ahead, work on yours. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here and fix, the exterior of mine, kind of clean up all these little parts that kind of aren't quite right.